when someone would face some sort of hardship or calamity in life, if someone would fall ill, the first thing they would do was to give sadaqah. This was a common tradition in our communities, which is now dying out. The first thing people would give sadaqah, and then they would go to the doctor. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Dawu mardakum bi sadaqah." Treat your mariz with charity. Give charity. Give sadaqah in the path of Allah Jalla wa Ala. This is the treatment from Allah Jalla wa Ala. The doctor will give dawa, the medication will be given by the doctor. But the doctor doesn't have shifa. Shifa is within the hukum of Allah, within the amr of Allah Jalla wa Ala, the command of Allah Jalla wa Ala. Once Sayyidina Musa ala nabiyyina alayhi salatu wassalam, he had a stomachache, and he went to Mount Sinai to talk to Allah Jalla wa Ala about it. Allah Jalla wa Ala ordered him to go to a jungle and search for a certain plant and squeeze the water of the leaves of the plant and drink the water, and you will be cured. So Sayyidina Musa ala nabiyyina alayhi salatu wassalam acted upon it, and he was cured. After some time, he had the same pain, and this time he went to the jungle and he searched for the same plant, and he squeezed the water out of the leaves and drank the water. But this time the pain had intensified, it increased. Then he went to Mount Tur to talk to Allah Jalla wa Ala. And Allah Jalla wa Ala said, "Oh Musa, you should have come to me first." So Musa alayhi salam said, "Oh Allah, the illness is the same, the treatment is the same, but why is it that the pain has increased?" Allah Jalla wa Ala said, "Yes, the illness is the same, the treatment is the same, but oh Musa, the treatment is dawa, but the shifa is in my command. Last time when you used the same treatment, it wasn't only the medication. That dawa included my hukum. My hukum was included, my command was included." From this we learn that the shifa is within the hukum of Allah Jalla wa Ala. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has taught us how to search for the hukum of Allah, how to search for shifa from Allah Jalla wa Ala, how to seek that shifa. The shifa is in sadaqah. So if we face some calamity in life, some hardship in life, if we fall ill, the very first thing we should do is to give sadaqah in the path of Allah Jalla wa Ala. Then go to the doctor. Medication, treatment is important, it's necessary, but it's a mediation, it's a wasila. The shifa is not in the medication. The shifa is not in the dawa. The shifa is in the amr of Allah, the hukum of Allah Jalla wa Ala. How do you beg Allah Jalla wa Ala for the hukum of Allah, for the command of Allah to be included within the medication? It is by giving sadaqah in the path of Allah Jalla wa Ala. And this is the best time to give sadaqah. One of the benefits of sadaqah, one thing will increase and one will decrease. What increases with sadaqah is your wealth. The more you give, the more Allah will increase for you. And one thing decreases with sadaqah, and that is the love of wealth. The more you give, the less love you will have for your wealth. And the greatest disease of the heart is the love of wealth of dunya. That's what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, that an old man, two things remain young in his life. His heart remains young relating to two things in life. What is the first? The older he gets, the younger his heart will be in relation to two things. One, the love of dunya, and the second is that his hopes, his worldly desires will increase. The older he gets, the more he wants to live in dunya. Many young people we meet, you talk to them about death, they will have greater fear than elderly people. Some old people, you will talk to them about death, they will have more love for dunya. They are planning things for their children, for their family members, properties in Pakistan, in other countries. They have greater desire, and one thinks, why does this happen? The reason why this happens is our hearts will always be inclined towards where our wealth is. If our wealth is in this dunya, then our hearts will be inclined towards this dunya. And if we spend our wealth in the path of Allah Jalla wa Ala, then wherever the wealth is, that's where our heart will be. If we have spent the wealth in the path of Allah, then our hearts will be inclined towards the hereafter. So therefore, the remedy, The cure to this disease of the love of dunya and the love of the wealth of this dunya is that give sadaqah in the path of Allah. Two things. One will increase, one will decrease. The more wealth you spend in the path of Allah, the more Allah will give you. Allah will increase the wealth. You will be a very wealthy, very rich person. If you're a millionaire, you will become a multi-millionaire. But the love of the wealth of dunya will decrease. And that's what we want. That is success in both worlds, in this world and in the hereafter. So whenever we face a calamity in life, if any family member falls ill, the very first thing that we should do, what is that? Feed the poor. Help someone in need. Make a phone call to some relatives in Pakistan. Whichever poor person you know, tell your relatives, give someone some money. Help so and so. First give sadaqah, then visit the doctor. May Allah Jalla wa Ala bless us with His guidance so that we can act upon these beautiful teachings of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.